Okay, home roasting 1. I have a timer. Presto Pop Light Gourmet Popper. I've got 1 measure of green fresh coffee. For those that are interested, what I'm using today is Keen coffee. Martin Dietrich is very well known for being a master roaster in our area of Orange County, Southern California. He and his father started the Dietrich's coffee places that were extremely popular for quite a while. Anyway, but this is the Keen, and for those that want to know a little bit more about the coffee, there is the kind that we're using. There you go. He said do not use a popcorn popper. The reason why is because you don't get the sweetness. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to do here that I haven't seen other people do. First of all, I'm going to roast it for a little bit and then shut it down for a little bit, keep it moving, roast it a little bit more, shut it down for a little bit, try to work in about a 12 to 15 minute process. So I'm going to set my timer here for about 12 minutes. Because this one doesn't have vents in it, I'm going to probably have to shake it around a little bit to keep it moving. But first I'm going to test them and see how it works. So I'm going to pour my coffee in there and see if it works. Okay, here's what I was afraid of. With this particular one, because it doesn't have the vent in there, it sits in the thing. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shake this and keep it moving. Now, here's another thing I'm going to do that I haven't seen anybody else do, and the reason why is because I hate the chafe and the mess. So I'm going to take some cheesecloth, and I'm just going to put it right in here, and hopefully this is going to keep A, the beans from coming out, and B, the chafe from coming all over the place. Now, the one thing I can't do is I can't see quite as well, but I'm not worried about that. As a chef, we use our nose a lot, okay? So we're going to turn this back on, I'm going to turn my timer on, okay? Start my countdown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this so that this is going to keep the beans moving around. Now, as a chef, I don't mind doing this. There's a lot of things I do that take time. So I'll come back in just a minute. I can already start to smell the beans. Okay, I'm going to shut it down at 10 minutes. And we're going to let it sit for a minute. The beans are still heating because they're going to be heating themselves. And I'm kind of surprised how brown they are already. So I don't know if this is good or not. Like I say, this is our first one. We're going to let those beans kind of sit there for just a moment. That's kind of my first crack already at 2 minutes. So I'm kind of surprised. Okay. Let it sit for a minute. Turn it back on. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Okay, we're down at the 8-minute mark now. So we're 4 minutes into it. It's smoking. You can hear them crack. Remember, even though the heat's not on, it's still heating. 7. Okay, time to start it again. Okay, another minute's up. Turn that off. Take that lid off. Getting nice and brown, nice and smoky. Now, I do have a fire extinguisher here in case my catches fire, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, let that sit another minute or two. We are down to 4 minutes and 59 seconds. We are going to do this for another minute here. I'm no expert, but I think we started our second crack, which is more a little snap, 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 snap that I've heard you're going to hear. I think that's going to do it. I'm going to take it over to the sink here and pour these out so you can see what I'm... Okay, here we go. Don't do this. I have chef's hands, so I can touch things, but don't do this. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to see if the beans are oily. In other words, did I brown them and cook them properly without releasing all of the oils, which will tend to burn in your popcorn maker or whatever you happen to be doing it in. Okay? To me, that looks pretty outrageously good. I'm also going to cut this bean in half, because I want to see if it's all the way through or if it's just on the outside, but it's all the way through, so I'm hoping that we had a success. We'll let you know tomorrow morning. Okay, I was told by others to take a clean mason jar, put your beans in there, and put your lid on loosely. There we have it. We'll let that sit, and tomorrow morning we'll give it a try. Okay, so in conclusion, look how nicely those beans are colored. They're very, very even as far as the coloration, and I'm very pleased with the scent of it. Oh yeah, that's great. Time will tell. I think what I probably will do next time is just a minute of heat, a minute sitting, a minute of heat, a minute sitting, and do that way and see how long I can kind of stretch it out. Okay? Okay, 24 hours later, here we go. Open it up. Oh la la. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay, I'm just going to do like one espresso here. Grind that sucker up. Check my grind. Make sure it's smooth enough. Don't know how much to tamp it, but we're just going to take a guess. And right about there we're guessing. Okay? Looks good, but let's see what it tastes like. Oh la la, nice and smooth. Okay, but I can understand what Martin is talking about with that losing a bit of that sweetness. It's not bitter at all, but there's that edge. I know his coffees well, and I know this particular product, and they do a richer job of roasting than what I was able to do. However, this was fun, and hey, for the price of green beans that you can get some places, you can certainly have a lot of fun with this. That's what I'm going to do. I'm certainly not going to open a coffee shop though. And quite frankly, it's a lot better than a lot of places that have some pretty big names. That I will tell you. Next, I'm going to get some cheap beans and play with those.